beautiful starseeds, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jade Crystal and I am 13 moons. This is my oracle channel. I felt guided to come on here today to give you a reading about the feminine energies arising on this planet to do with blessings, nourishment, beauty, like beauty being revealed from inside of you all the way through to outside of you. And just kind of go over what's coming forward during this last Leo moon cycle, but just know these readings are timeless. So whenever you find this, these are activating in your frequency and your timeline at that moment. So let's set the circle with a prayer. Creator of all that is, we thank you so much for all the beautiful blessings and wonderful bounty of love, abundance, wealth, and relationships in our life. We thank you for guiding us to our soul tribe and strong connections that help us to build our golden light path of destiny and purpose on this planet. And we ask for this reading to be unconditionally centered in love and light as we guide the collective forward. So Creator, please come through with the best messages for collective today. So I did some journaling on some oracles this morning in my morning meditations. And so it's very important right now to connect to nature through your foods, going outside if the weather's making that a little more challenging, if there's any garden centers or we have a beautiful garden center where I live. It's a wonderful giant pyramid centered place up here in Canada. And so I will be going there in the next week or so. But any place like that is just going to be really grounding to your frequencies, and you want to maintain a good balance of grounding and harmony between your soul star and your earth star chakra. So that means calling your energies home daily, calling your power home daily, and that will increase your flow of harmony and energy into the physical. And also right now, it's really important for you to ascertain and discern who is truly supporting you on your path, and you can share your dreams and frequencies with those people, but then you also must understand who not to share with and really finding that discernment and balance. And if you're having trouble with that, you can ask your higher self or your guides. They will help you. High Priestess cards came out double in this current, I always go by moon calendar, so this current moon cycle that we're in, this 14-day cycle from the last full moon. And High Priestess is just showing me your capacity and your ability for discerning higher wisdom. And right now with the collective energies coming through, that's going to get even deeper. Some of you may feel like you're working through different labyrinths. So different labyrinths within the matrix 5D, 3D constructs, all integrating at once. So the 3D things that you are involved in your career, in your love life, in your relationship dynamics, they're merging into proper, divinely defined patternings, and those are being shown to you. Those are being revealed to you of how to integrate both. And so you may feel a little bit of upheaval right now, but just know you have all the things that you need. And the term labyrinth kept coming up. I was really drawn in the last couple weeks to really go back to shows that I watched when I was a kid that were really very creative, very divinely driven, very ahead of their time, and they had really woken me up, like Gem, The Dark Crystal, Last Unicorn, Labyrinth, Care Bears, He-Man and She-Ra. So these might be calling to you. All of these are movies that you might want to go watch, even if you're not from the same wave of souls as me. These might really have some strong, potent frequencies and messages for you. And there are newer versions of some of these things, so really seek out the oldest origin version of these, because they are quite different. You can watch them all if you really like. But it is really important to also feed your inner child and wake them back up and bring them forth. And when you watch some of these things, and you can go back into ones that I didn't list that are from your own childhood, of course, as well, because when you watch these things, they actually stimulate and wake up the frequencies of purity that we had when we were a child, and bring them forth into your current experience in the now. So the feminine and masculine are always in a healing balance and a healing flow and a healing dance. Right now, Shakti is leading the way, and it's going to shift very soon. It's going to shift to Shiva leading the way. But what I was able to look into right now is we're really letting go of that overworking, overdoing as a collective. Even if you identify as masculine and found this reading, the overworking is being let go of. We're actually creating more time for rest, more time for purity, more time for truth. So the truth of our soul is we aren't consumption, like we don't overconsume. We usually are in balance with harmony in nature and what is provided for us, we're grateful for, and then we make provisions with that. We make it last, or without being afraid, it's in complete gratitude, or we, eat it when it's plenty and enjoy the abundance of it. So, and then we store away for the winter seasons. So that has been the historical patterning of our true nature, of our ancestry. That's how we got here. And we're coming back into that frequency now, but it's going to be, I would say, modernized, for lack of a better word. It's going to be modernized and pulled in to the present moment in a way that's really beneficial to your life, so that you are still maintaining what you've created and maintaining maybe the material wealth or the material abundance, but you're going to be more gratitude of it. You're going to be more sharing of it. You're going to be more generous with it. You're not going to want to consume just for the sake of consuming. There's going to be a mindfulness behind it. It's like, do I really need this? Do I already have this? There's going to be some, I see, organization going on for you, like you looking through your closets, looking through your cupboards, looking through your bathrooms, looking through your groceries before you go shopping, so that you actually see, oh, I actually don't need this. I actually already had it. And there was a little bit of fear-driven consumption going on. I feel like the pandemic really activated that, and then it kind of continued on. And I feel like those vibrations are actually coming off and dissolving and disintegrating from the planet. So if you had found yourself in those vibrations and frequencies, know that you are getting some reprieve from that, and that those frequencies are going away. Now, the action of the masculine is becoming more refined, and this is again internal masculine. These are energy frequencies that we all hold, no matter what you resonate to in the physical, in your identification of your being as your name and who you are in this 3D world. But the actions are becoming more refined. Like, what do they mean to you? Where are they coming from? What's your motivation behind them? Before, there was like, we'll just do it because we want to get this done and that. There will still be some of that, but it will be more divinely anchored. It will be more in capacity with your soul, with your highest divinity, with your absolute truth. And you won't be able to lie to yourself anymore. You won't be able to do things that you absolutely hate, or I don't like that frequency of that word, sorry for saying it, cancel, clear, delete, things that you dislike and didn't bring you joy, but you were doing them anyway because you felt like you had to, or you felt like you had to do them to survive. All of that is dissolving, and your actions are becoming more intentional and refined, and this is the healed masculine. And also in that, the masculines within are able to surrender to the feminine. So if there's a call to rest, we're not pushing ourselves past and into burnout. You will see this across the board. You will see this even with some of the family members and friends you might have that are just waking up on the spiritual path or still a little bit asleep. You will still see this moving through the collective. Now, one of the guides coming through is Nematoma, and she works with you through the labyrinths of this. So you might be working through a labyrinth. So a labyrinth to me is a collection of belief systems that have kind of corrupted or taken over the divine inherent programming and belief systems that we came down with and warped them. So not always necessarily a bad thing, but they are also part of initiations and things that you would want to unravel, overcome, so that you can return back to the origin definitions of everything, because the way Creator made things was perfect and full of love and full of grace and full of balance, and all of us working together in harmony. So the more that we recover those things and remove the matrix conditionings off of these belief systems, and labyrinth is the belief systems intertwining. So divine belief systems and definitions intertwining with 3D matrix belief systems intertwining. And the more that you unfuse those and really get a definition and between both and understand both and still be able to work in the 3D and be in the 3D, but from a higher capacity, a higher wisdom, without everything so entwined. And that also means that temptations, addictions, all the things holding you back will also fall away, in that when you untwine these things, and you won't feel these black holes, for instance, to overshop or overdo or overeat or overconsume, right? So all of that is inherent in labyrinth overcomings, okay? So that's a very quick definition of that, but I hope it makes sense. And Nematona is helping you through those processes. She's helping you guide you through the labyrinth. And so I'm going through labyrinths of my subconscious right now, of hidden shadows. Some of you might resonate with that, where you are actually going into the depths of your being and seeing if there's any other shadow aspects hidden from you, because the ones that I'm talking to right now, they have done the work. They've already worked a lot on integrating their shadow. There's still just a few pieces that you can see in your environment that you are really honing in your manifestation capacity and abilities, and you're seeing like, oh, those few little parts of my life are still just not really working out. So where are the shadows holding me back from that? What are the blocks? Can I heal them? Like, can they be shown to me? And Nematona is working with that. She's also asking you to infuse your ceremonies with guidance, overseeing wisdom and protection, clearing space in your yard, in your home. And also, this is the third day of the full moon at the time that I'm filming this. So this is a reminder that either now, if you're hearing this today, or if you're hearing this near a full moon, to remember to charge your tools, charge your grids, charge your crystals, charge your manuals, charge your books, charge them in the full moonlight and let them sit and soak up the sunrise. Be careful with some of the crystals, like for instance, amethyst will turn yellow into citrine when it has too much sunlight. So you want to be careful, but just really read up on your crystals and know what you're doing. And then your talisman, your jewelry, anything that you want charged in the moonlight, moon water, skin serums, all of that. Really important reminder for that as well. And just Nematoma will help you set sacred circles and infuse it with loving magical energy. And it's just really good to remember to pray. And when you travel around the world, if you come across a sacred power place, join in prayer there, and you energetically can access that with your frequency. So your essence, your tendrils of light, you can plug them into that place. Also, any past life you have ever had, you can energetically plug or access it through your frequency of energy field through your light body. You can access that place. If you've been in Stonehenge, if you've been in Atlantis, Lemuria, Avalon, if you've been in Egypt, all of those places are accessible to you via your past lives. So it's really worth exploring your past lives, because you can bring those frequencies and those energies directly into your meditation. But also, I've done things where I've looked up sacred places on the earth and connected to them through maps, because everything's energy and frequency. So all you have to do is intend. So I don't know who's integrating some of these things and need to hear that, but that was a tangent off of my journaling. So someone needed to hear that. Now, the feminine healing of this as well, because the labyrinth is going to crisscross feminine to masculine, and also heal and unwind any corruptions in there as well, right? Because that's also a labyrinth of programming that the 3D matrix has taken over out of our origin definitions of what feminine and masculine energy is in nature and inherent on the planet. So the feminine right now, you're coming into an emanation, an embodiment of love to all. It's just coming out of every pore, fiber, cell, action, word you speak, and it's helping you to share, and it's helping you to help other people. And you're taking the things that you've built now, and you're starting to share those resources with people around you. If your work is hiring and you see good people that would be a great part of your team, you're helping get them on. You're helping prepare them and bring them forward with you, right? So it's a really beautiful time of soul tribes coming in as well. If you haven't found your soul tribe yet and you're still walking that lone wolf solo journey, that's okay too. I have noticed that although I found a lot of my soul tribe, I still value and recharge as an extrovert, and I still like that time alone. So you're going to find balance in both of that. If you're looking for your soul tribe, it's coming, and you're going to find a balance in being able to maintain your extrovert introvert balancing that I know a lot of you have. So some of the signs that are coming up for this is music, the songs of the heart, being able to sing, to dance. Stonehenge is a really powerful place. You might want to connect that energy to your next meditations, to your next circles. Fairies, goblins, innocence, and knowing the difference between because every energy, fairies, angels, like I said, goblins, nature spirits, all of them have a shadow side and a light side. And even those beings, some of them have been traumatized. So some of them don't believe in humanity's goodness, just like some of us don't from our past lives. And they are, quote unquote, negative or in a darker energy because of their woundings, because of their traumas. And a lot of you that work with these beings and that have access to these beings and these frequencies, they're going to start to come forward to you. You're going to start to be able to see them more because they need healing. Like everything in life right now is being called to heal, and it is coming through connection to our own healing and our own wins and our own wisdom. So this is super powerful, wonderful energy. So if you come across any beings that you haven't experienced before, make sure that you are, working with them. Smelling pasta and garlic and food. So maybe that's a sign for you. Make sure you're working with them to heal them and like returning them to the light if that's where they want to go. Know a lot of these beings, like humans, have ruined their homes. So just being really compassionate with them without letting anything overpower you or harm you, of course, right? This is a time of really great gratitude. So if you're not already doing it, go and write down gratitude. One book I revisit constantly is Rhonda Barnes' The Magic. That is such a great book to remind me of gratitude and what to be grateful for. And she just does such great prompts and reminders in there and practices. So if you're feeling called to that, it's a really great book. And then this is also a time for tenacity. Never give up. Do not give up on your dreams and goals. Some of you are in that 11th hour where you're exhausted and you're starting to see inklings of your fruition and your manifestation. And you're like, why isn't it here yet? And you're like, I don't know if I can go any further, but you can. Do not give up. Take a break if you need. Take a rest. But do not give up. Gather all of your strength and push forward and get to where you're going. And also think things through. Think things through and slow down. Anything that's feeling rushed, I got to do this right now, and it's really anxious, that's usually probably the ego. The soul is much more yeah, that's a yes, and it's a hell yes. It's like a you cannot deny that yes. We're going to move mountains and earths to make that happen. That's a soul yes. And soul yes is also it's very potent and powerful, but it comes upon your whole being. Right? It's super strong, but it's not super loud. And it's still it's a quiet, powerful strength, right? So just remember and knowing the difference between soul and ego. So there is a pattern that's been on this planet for a long time where life is unfair. Earth life is unfair. But understanding that you can, with your own attitude, with your own gratitude, with your own outlook, and if you are struggling with that, if it's dropping into low vibrations or negativity, borrow new perspectives and outlooks from Creator, from your angels, from your guides, and then make the best of it. And understand that in all this work that you're doing and the divinity that you're connected to and being connected to the cosmic love that we came from, you are automatically, that's going to happen for you. Divinity is going to make good of all of it. That's how everything becomes good and right. And so there are never mistakes, there are never detours. And I was reminded again of something that my mom told me a long, long time ago, but still always stays with me. And sometimes I forget, and then it comes back up today. Spiral goes back up to go back down to rise up again. Think of a spiral that's going up. It's you're going down, like a spiral staircase. You're going down and then you come back up. And then you come back, and then you're up for a bit, but then you're on that down spiral and you're going back up. So it's literally about knowing that the down is rising again and leaning into divinity and into your higher self and into your guides and your angels and your own perspectives, because trusting other people's perspective and help, there is a balancing that we need for that, and there is a time for that, especially a lot of you that I'm talking to that have been walking that solo path. It is time to ask for help. It is time to allow help to come in. But there also needs to be that discernment piece. We don't want to run around just blindly trusting. We need to make sure that the people that we are trusting advice from or perspective from, they have our best interests at heart, first of all, and they see life the way we see it, or they can see our vision. I have some friends that cannot see my vision going forward, or even me in my wholeness. But then I also have friends who completely do see the vision. And I love all of them, and I'm grateful for all of them because they all teach me something. But it's I know when to share and I know when to be quiet now, and that was something I had to cultivate. And if you are needing to cultivate that too, again, lean into your angels, lean into your guides, ask the universe for it, and it will come to you. You can literally, if you're struggling with something, you can literally say soul, universe, angels, creator, whatever you want, whatever you feel like is a higher power, help me with this. I'm struggling with this. How do I correct this? How do I fix this? Okay. And just know, like, all my readings are always about, you can notice I don't do a lot of love readings. I am doing more career and abundance, because I feel like the more that you focus on bringing your best self forward, to bringing your best actions in alignment with divinity, all of that stuff will work out for you. Love will work out for you. Money will work out for you. If you come into alignment with your divinity, and you come in alignment with all the energies coming through you, and you do the work to clean up your shadows and integrate them and love them, and come in to building self-discipline and self-trust within you, all of that stuff will work out. Okay. And there's a ton of love readings online anyway, so you can find those as you need. All right. Although, I do see a lot of you will be coming into union, and I do see a lot of you have a couple more years before that union is coming up. Now, number sequences that are coming up is 9 2s 3s and 9s with 5s. So that might be significant to you, and you might want to look up angel numbers. I know Alana Fairchild has a great book called Master Numbers that I love. And also just coming through again, the way forward is often the way back. When it feels like we're going backwards, we are actually going forward. So just understand that that's all labyrinth energy again, that spiral that goes back up, down to rise. It's, all labyrinth energy. And sometimes when we take things for granted, or we're doing monotonous routines day after day, the same thing, we can just kind of get a little bit lost, and everything can start to look the same. We're like, we're not going forward. And a lot of us creatives that are very creative starseeds, we lose focus on long-term goals because of that monotonousy. And it's a good idea to just write down your plans, write down your vision for the future, write down where you're going, and review it constantly. Like, not every day maybe, like to be obsessed with it, but at least every week. And just so you remember where you're going, and you can remember that when everything starts to look the same, and you've got to put in those daily actions to build something, know that sometimes when you feel like you're going back, you're actually going forward. Okay. I'm just reading my journal notes. The shows that you watched when you were a kid will help restore innocence and what was lost. So that might be for somebody. Just what was lost in your being, your vessel, your motivation, your lost dreams. So the feminine creator of the universe, and all that we lost in the shift into masculine overtaking and power, that is being re-established at this time. The feminine really is rising. There's a degradation of the feminine on this planet because life came from it. And all of the creation stories and the things that were hidden from us that I cannot prove to you right now, but they are in those libraries, we can find them. But either way, creator to me is feminine and masculine. It holds both, because we need both, and both need to be in power. And that's what's being risen again, is the ancient balancing from great societies, Avalon, Atlantis, Egypt. There was a balancing. Masculine and feminine was revered and balanced in its capacity for wholeness, in its differences. It was celebrated, and both were the most important thing. And that's what's coming back through. And I think in this particular reading, the feminine is the focus right now, because the feminine has been so desecrated and so attacked and so misidentified and misdefined in our society. But that's for a reason, because it's trying to disempower it, but you can't. And so it's rising right now within all of us. It's rising in the balancing I talked about earlier. Lady Nada is coming up through here to you. So she's helping you work on your sensitivity. She's helping you work on the balancing of the feminine energy within you, on forgiving yourself, on coming forward with grace and ease, and whatever feminine beauty means to you. It could mean your skin, your hair, your nails. It could mean makeup and dresses. It could mean pants and beautiful colors. Whatever femininity and beauty means to you. It could be flowers in your home. It could be beautiful aesthetics in your home. It could be a lip gloss. It could just be a necklace. It could be anything in the physical expression, but it's also just going to start to come out in your voice, in your energy, in the way that you move, in the way that you slow down, in the way that your frequency affects other people, in the way that your heart just opens up and enfolds around others. So just really embrace this process and allow it to come through. I'm just writing some notes for myself to remember this later as well. So I did pull a card from what is this one called? It's an Alana Fairchild deck because she is my absolute favorite. Earth Warriors deck, and it's the Anaya Vision, and I just want to read to you from this first part. The divine feminine yearns to reveal her way and her wisdom to you, that you may live passionately and purposefully. As you trust her inner guiding voice, you recognize the authentic desires and visions that move you from within, that are seeds of your sacred vision. You shall experience a clarity and soul-deep relief that only truth can bring. You shall experience a knowing of purpose that awakens your ability to live deliberately and experience deep fulfillment. So it's a blossoming of awareness for your life purpose, your true passion, for your whole life, for your authenticity, for your soul's yearning, and just becoming bold and honest and full of a fierce will that is also gentle and not dominating. So I loved that card for us today. And I did pull a few more. I pulled a few on my phone. I pulled a few out in the front, so we'll look at all of them. So Pillar of Light, your light is, your vibration is rising. Your frequency is changing. And I know we're all feeling that. We're always feeling that every moon. I feel like the last 3 years, the moons have been even more intense than they've ever been. And every single moon, which I was shown in 2016, the full moon is literally absorbing all the frequencies and all the energies that are corrupting us or blocking us from love, and then they're dissolving and disintegrating them as that full moon progresses. And then by the time the new moon comes, all this new frequency and programming is coming into us. And that more that we do our prayers and our meditations and our spiritual practice and discipline in every waking moment, not just in tiny little moments that you carve out, but all the ceremonies that you do, all the manifestation ceremonies, the meditations, the yogas, all of that ends up contributing to these frequencies and waking you up and connecting you more to love and more to light. And you are that pillar of light. And then also Pillar of Light brings to mind protection. So anytime that you feel like you've absorbed energy you didn't want to absorb, you're going to actually be pulling a pillar of light down across you to clean yourself up. And you can do that morning and evenings just to clean up your frequency from anything you may have absorbed. Because as we are starseeds and healers, we came to heal the planet. And we sometimes will heal on autopilot and just start absorbing energies from people around us that need healing. And if you're an empath right now, Lord, you know how many people are waking up and need healing. Okay. And also there's just a lot of psychic attack going around. So psychic attack twofold. So there's one going out from the people who are waking up and they have these strong emotions of negativity, envy, jealousy, anger. Oh, it's actually kind of threefold. So those emotions can be triggered in awakening people from other entities who are trying to corrupt their wake-up process. So that can happen. And then those frequencies can come out of that person either naturally or entity-driven, and they can come and attack you, the light. Then there's entity attacks. Like there is massive amounts of psychic entity attacks, or like women waking up to their powers and not working through their shadows or integrations and their wounds, their cellular wounds from the witch burnings, and they are throwing out powerful energies of attack if they get jealous or envy, or say you guys like the same guy or something like that, or their partner leaves them because that was a karmic relationship and they go back to their twin flame, so they're attacking that twin flame. Like there's so much psychic attack going on. And then there's the entities and energies and the evils of the planet that do not want starseeds waking up. That's like the number one directive or priority in the spiritual warfare on the other side right now, is to stop the starseeds from waking up, because they're trying to interfere with God's plan to wake the planet up, for God's plan to send the rainbow children down, to come back to nature, to come back to earth, to come back to harmony, to come back to balance. So they want to corrupt that, and they want to stop that. And any of you that are doing that work are going to be attacked more, because the more that your frequency changes and the more people that you wake up and the more people that you bring into alignment, the more that they don't want that to happen. So they're going to come for you. But also know that the more of that work you're doing, the less they can harm and touch you. And just make sure you're just using your spiritual tech. Use dragons to create productive energy grids and domes all over your tiny corner of the universe, all over your blessings, your gifts, your projects, your work, your relationships, your loved ones. don't be afraid to use the tools and resources that we have, because creator is endless, and you just have to ask for those protections to come around those areas. You can bless the ground, you can bless the building, you can ask the angels to clean the building. So there's just so many resources available to us, and sometimes we compartmentalize and we come home and we do our ceremonies and our meditations and our spiritual stuff, and some of you are still hiding in the closet with that, and then you go to work and you do other things. So just remember that you can integrate it. No one has to know if you still aren't feeling bold and brave, although this reading is about that boldness and braveness coming through. You can speak prayers out loud, but you can speak them in your heart too. You can speak them in front of, like, you can feel the person who stays homeless or on drugs in front of you, because I work downtown, and I do see a lot of that. And I literally start asking Jesus to come, and I pray that angels come, and I put a pillar of light over me so that none of that energy is absorbing in my field, but I can still help the person in front of me, and I'm not scared it's going to affect my life. Right? So there's just so many things that we can be doing. So start to explore that, because all of us are on different frequencies of starseed channels and abilities and capacities. And we all came with a little, like, similar tools, because we're grouped, but then we also have, in each group, there's different tools. So start to access that, because there's ones I probably haven't even thought of because I'm on a different ray than you. And so start to play around with that and use those in your day-to-day frequencies. All right, let's take a look at some of the other cards I pulled earlier. Okay, so, and mantra might be calling to you. So I've been working a lot with Krishna's mantra, Green Tara's mantra, Ganesh, Lakshmi, Shiva, and Kali. So I've been working a lot with those energies and mantras, especially if you need protection or just opening into the truth of your shadows. Kali's great. So I did pull some angel cards from, like, ask your angels, like a yes or no kind of decks, and I'm getting 4 yeses. But I am also still getting improved health in the near future, peaceful revolution, and there's something better. So if you have a plethora of options available to you right now, or an option shows up for you in the next little while, and you're still not really sure of it, and it's not that, like, yes, we're doing that, like, with all of your being like, yes, 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 maybe that's telling you that there's something better coming along the way. But although it looks like none of these paths coming forward to you will actually be bad for you, they're all actually going to be very supportive of the path coming forward. Any of you that are struggling with challenges, or you're worried about the outcome of something, know that it is a yes, and know that there's a peaceful resolution. I'm seeing rainbows and golden lights and sun energies all through these cards. There's a lot of pink, and there's green and gold, purple coming through. And then I'm seeing improving health. So I'm seeing Archangel Raphael. I am seeing the Catechist, the snake, but that's also Shakti rising. So a lot of you are having Shakti energetic elevations, especially if you've been being celibate. Your energy is going to be moving from the root chakra all the way up to the crown, and you can actually do that as a guided process. You can call the energy up through your chakras from the base going up and help it speed along if you want. You can connect to Shakti and ask her to show you. Shiva, Krishna, Lakshmi, they will all show you as well. Any pranayama practices, any yoga practices will actually naturally help you to facilitate that process. I actually have been learning Sanskrit lately, and just even chanting the Sanskrit alphabet, it has the most grounding effect through my chakras. It's the most unbelievable, beautiful feeling. So that may be for someone as well. And then just in the near future, just know everything is working out. Everything is working out. There might be a little bit of delays with some of the things that you want, but it's going to be worth the wait. That's what I'm seeing in these cards. And then I did pull some from the Moon Child Tarot, and from the Wisdom of Avalon. So the Wisdom of Avalon, I pulled the High Priestess card, Discernment, Prophecy, Vision. So we kind of talked about this in all of this. You're just going to be looking at the language of spirit, the signs. It may be in those movies I mentioned, might be in music, might be through song. Make sure you're dancing. Make sure you're looking at the numbers. Fairies are bringing you messages. There's a lot of, like, innocent nature beings that you are connected to. And then there's the frequency of the cow. So eating ghee, I've been really guided to eat ghee, and just the frequency of my food. But the cow represents nourishment, abundant, asking and receiving. And if any of you have been worried about that, come back into your receptive energy through gratitude. Tell the universe, I am ready and willing to receive what is best for me. And thank you. And then just allow it to come through. Don't hold on too tightly to something that you think that you want. And then it has to look a certain way. And if you find yourself doing that, write a universal letter, do a cleansing ritual where you can peel it out. And you can kind of pry your hold off of it while still maintaining a joyful gratitude of like, oh, well, if this was to happen, it'd be so great. But I also this or something better. Release it back. There is some restriction I'm seeing right now. There is some delays because I think you just need to give the time to the universe to create the projects and the ideas to birth through you, for it to create in the physical and to manifest. And also the restriction I'm seeing could be coming from those labyrinths of thought, those restrictions within you, the hidden shadows that you're trying to build up and to purge. So pull those forward and see what is going on for you there. And then ask your soul to help you transmute it. Ask your soul to help you pull it through in a creative way and just alchemize it, because that's what we're here for. Star seeds that found my channel, you are master alchemizers. You can alchemize anything. There shouldn't even be any blocks in your system because you could alchemize them immediately. And then spider energy. You're weaving the webs of destiny, creation. There's a ton of ideas coming through to you. You're building I was going to say weaving and building at the same time. You're weaving and building a beautiful life around yourself right now. So for the tarot, I pulled the Six of Wands, the Chariot, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Strength card. So you are your own yin and yang. You hold all the aspects that you need to anchor and ground yourself. So gather your energy and tap into your full creative force. So creativity is doubled here. Know that you're resilient. You are powerful. And this is shining a light on your accomplishments. Like, sit down for a moment and just, what have you gone through in your life? What have you been through? All the things that it's a great integration of shadows as well as light. What have you been through in your life that you may not want to tell people? Like, who are you? What is your story? Write it down in point form. Just sit with yourself. And like, I cut my leg when I was 5 on my bike, or we didn't have cell phones, so you're always outside, and I had wolves and I was playing with them. Like, what is your story? It's so unique to you and it's so beautiful. Own it. Even if you don't tell anybody yet, own it inside yourself. Okay, so there's pointing in Six of Wands, this is pointing to sparks of like public recognition, support for your career. It infuses enthusiasm, confidence into everything that you're doing. And it's actually like that feeling of confidence where you feel like you can achieve anything. Okay. And it's a powerful quality in you, and others are going to probably recognize it too. So make sure you sit in sanctuary, make sure you own your energy field, make sure that you're not, sometimes we get excited and we want to share with everyone, like I said earlier in the reading, but you want to also just stay in your harmonious state, not particularly let people siphon off of you. So I always keep a whole bubble of creator's light just pouring through me all day long. So if anyone tries to siphon, they can connect into that instead of my energy, because creator's light is endless. So it's okay for them to drink from that fountain, but your own chi energy, it needs to be cultivated, stored, held in grace. This is also talking to me about a memory or a moment of celebration, like celebrating all you are, all that you came from, celebrating the yeses that we just talked about that are coming for you. I'm seeing some people get some really good news about their career, about their path moving forward in this month. It's again, the full moon is in this card, so it's another full moon, and flowers are coming up again. Also sand, so maybe the desert might be important to you, but it could be sand beds from the ocean. Just know that like the Six of Wands is like you're about to receive, and this is a really good place to be in, but you really want to check any feelings of pride and ego. So this card is a call of like, there's all this beautiful energy coming in, and sometimes when we have that energy coming in, we can have the tendency to like be like, yes, look what I did, look what I have, look what I want, and really remembering to bring this all back to grounding in your soul, into love, into humility. Be proud of yourself, be proud of what you've accomplished, but share it. Be generous. Don't brag about it. We don't need to tell everybody. And let's look. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, and it's so pretty on this card. It's so beautiful, again, with the bright flowers, pinks and the oranges, purples, all coming through on both cards, the golden. So sun energy, you're really shining bright. Like, just so excited. This reading's so beautiful to me. And I just want to kind of see what the reverse of the Queen of Wands is, because Queen of Wands is like passionate, outgoing, strong-willed, fierce. It's like the holding life in the palm of your hands. Like you got things figured out and an alignment. and everything's balanced, like the protection of your loved ones, the protection of your environment, your social environment is integrated. You're really fitting in. It's standing strong in your own resilience, feeling into the pulse of your soul, the dreams, sacred wisdom. And then when it's upside down, it's like a shadow side, and it can really reflect on, oh, I see it now. Fiery dispositions. It can really be an uncompromising attitude. So really see where you need to flex and let go and let in some new ideas into what you're trying to do. And this also points to hyper independence, and a validation of yourself, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just check any aggression, check any rigidity, and make sure that you are not too stuck in fear with this. Or too stuck in negativity. It is another call for shadow work. So that was the theme of this reading as well. So that's really cool. And then we actually had the Strength card. And I love this card too because there's just a beautiful, beautiful lion on it. So I guess this doubles down on that Leo energy. And Leo is just confident, fiery, believes in themselves, fiercely loves, but like also just doesn't take crap. Like if you mess with her, you lie to her, you show up with low integrity, she's just not going to pay you any mind, and she's not going to, or they're not going to pay you any mind. They're not going to facilitate anything, and they just want purity. And the lion in this card is resting and meditating with a girl who has her hands in a yogic position mudra. And again, we have the full moon in this card. So this full moon is just such a potent cycle of birth of strength, of boldness, of fierceness, of going after your dreams, of going after your purpose, of really going after everything in a solid, grounded, rooted state of soul, because that's when we are at the most powerful, is when we are humble, gracious, aligned with what we came here to do, and in love with that, because we chose what we loved. We chose what we came down here to do. And if challenges are showing up for you, or there's a lot of things that you are doing that you don't like to do, that is just a call to do shadow work. It's a call to clean up your energy field. Maybe there's some psychic attacks going on. You don't want to run around being scared of psychic attacks, but you really do need to take them seriously. Like even onto this week, I was like, why am I so tired? I thought it's just the energies of the planet. And then I actually sat down because I had been ill over the holidays. I sat down and I looked and I was like, oh, this is intense psychic attacks, and I just needed to make my energies a bit stronger and clean up my field. So just might be something for someone out there. And this also just highlights your divine sovereignty and the importance of treating others with kindness, compassion, love, but also, again, not letting anyone siphon from you or take from you. And just alignment with wisdom and courage. It is neutralizing the polarization of love and fear. So you're only going to exist in love if that's what you seek. If your fear is overtaking you, it's a call to go back to look at why. What are you afraid of right now? What fears have brought you down? And again, is it linked to psychic attack? Has something been sending you negativity, trying in attempts to pull down your vibration? Because all of that's real. There is spiritual warfare going on. There are entities out there that will come and try to do that to you. So if you find yourself in frequencies of irritation, wanting more bad things for you, talking negatively, just in a really negative state, that is entities or something trying to siphon you. So check in on it. Okay. This is really coming through powerfully this week. So that is just a really big message. So we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is just many things. So the Chariot reminds me, first of all, of horses. So help is coming in, assistance is coming in. It's just like an easier path forward. It's help is on the way. Again, there's more flowers in this, in the ocean. It also reminds me of Krishna. It also reminds me of arrows. So aiming true, your intentions, victory, confidence in your transitions. And again, because it was reversed, there is some worrying going on about this. So are you wavering in your confidence? Are you unsure what direction to take? So if you're unsure of what direction to take, sit down for a moment, wait. Divine timing might be at play. Remember I said on the angel cards, in the near future it'd come up. There is something better. So maybe you're being delayed so that you can actually choose a better option that's coming available to you. So don't be too fast to rush forward. Don't be too much in survival mode. Check those shadow aspects and see if there's just a new way of being that you can figure out in the meantime until something shows up that you truly, truly want. And it's also just a call in this Chariot of what truly matters to you. Set your intentions really clearly today. Like I said, write it down, get clear. You can't control everything at this time, but you are a co-creator. So what are you wanting to call in? Are you open to new changes and opportunities? Because they're all around you and they're being presented to you. So I feel like this is a perfect place to end this reading. I honestly love you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this reading too. I will say that there are some crystals that I forgot to mention. So lapis lazuli, polychrome jasper, selenite, blue obsidian, rhodochrosite. I might be saying that wrong, but amazonite and aragonite, and the attributes of that is aragonite is calling you to rest. So you are going through a lot of cellular transformations. You are doing a lot of integration. So make sure you're nourishing your body with proper food, proper water, and proper rest. And then integrity, show up with everything with integrity, regardless of how other people are showing up. That's their problem. That's their karma. Show up with integrity, love, compassion, kindness, and especially for yourself first. Clarity is coming through. That's that blue obsidian, rhodochrosite. Oh, there, I think I said it right now. That's for sensitivity. It's also connected to Lady Nada. Amazonite is connected to Lady Rihanna. And selenite is repairing your nervous system. It's cellular restoration. Again, Alana Fairchild has some great meditations through her Crystal Angels. I think they're apps now, but they might be CDs still. Crystal Angels 444. There's 2 volumes, and there's Crystal Angels 888. And Crystal Masters 333. All of those are really great. There's meditation tracks or apps that can go with that. And also there's Crystal Mandala cards. And that's what I pulled for these cards. And then there's Lapis Lazuli attached to Archangel Michael. Just setting up your field to retain your energy. Setting up it's like a royal frequency, and to bring in the best opportunity, and to solidify the field in a harmonized frequency of decisiveness, confidence, going for organization. And then polychrome jasper is helping you to restore your play, connection to your inner child, reminding you to laugh, reminding you to not take things so seriously. And then rhodochrosite is helping you to honor your sensitivity. And that rest piece, the honoring your sensitivity, has been big as well. As your frequency changes, there is going to be certain things in the physical world you aren't going to be able to eat. You aren't going to be able to breathe in. You aren't going to be able to tolerate. So just really checking in on all those chemicals, checking in on the things around you, even maybe in the clothes, and just seeing how you feel. And you might have to shift some of that stuff. But I used to fear those kinds of things when I first started my path, but they actually always turned out to make my life better. So don't fear them. If you feel like something's really making you sick, just let it go. Ask for a divine replacement and watch how much better that thing is. All right. Well, I love you so much. If you resonated with this reading, please drop an emoji down in the comments. Drop me a line. I have all my information in the description. If you want to book a private personalized reading with me, all of the links are in the description. Go ahead and do so. Do know that today was a collective reading, so take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, and I will see you on the next one. Namaste.